Hello, and welcome to Radiated. I need to fix the whole thing. Oh my goodness. There we go. Hello, welcome to Radiated Reptiles. My name is Jordan, and I've been meaning to do this video for, oh my god, so long. And I've forgotten. This is how to care for your camel spider. Let's dive into it. So this is my example of a camel spider enclosure. You got a good amount of sticks and rocks to structure the burrows, some fake plants, some hides, dirt, and I'd use a mix of dirt and soil, multiple hides, a small water dish, and then when you open, you should be able to find your happy, Sunny D, where in the world are you? There, your happy and healthy camel spider. I'm sorry. So camel spiders are nor spiders nor scorpions, even though they do have the body plan of a spider, mixed with everyone's worst nightmare, especially Galeotes arabas, which is the largest species, getting up to 6 inches! Basically, the ways to distinguish them are obvious, kind of. Let me just show you an image first, and then you'll see. It's pretty easy to not get them confused with scorpions, so I didn't add it. So basically, what you saw there is spiders have one segment in their abdomen. You know what? Actually, let me find a good example of this. I could not find an example. My tarantula didn't want to play, and he's also a striped knee, so they're not known for being super docile, but they're docile, just kind of flighty. My cellar spider is super small. He would disappear. And my jumping spider is gravid, and she is very territorial when she's gravid. My goodness. So basically, spiders have spinnerets, which helps them make their silk. No duh. Camel spiders do not, because they do not make silk. No duh. Spiders have chelicerae, or chelicerae, however you want to call it, but they're modified into fangs, hypodermic fangs that inject venom. Camel spiders have the traditional claw-like chelicerae. Here's a good example. First is spider fangs. So camel spider jaws, as you saw, move like this. Spider fangs kind of just move like this. Imagine chopsticks versus a chainsaw. 4 chainsaws-ish. But because they have no venom, because they have no venom and nothing else, like the whip scorpions with their humongous pedipalps, and then the vinegaroons with their acid. Or the pseudoscorpions with their venom in their claws, the harvestmen with their self-giving tattoos, the mites, they're so microscopic, they're so annoying, I hate mites and ticks and all that. So what they do is they have chelicerae that can be up to 2/3 of their body. When I always see this image and it gives me nightmares, even though I love all arachnids. So basically, they're horrifying, you don't want to get bit. So handling is not recommended because of that, but since I'm stupid, I'm gonna hold one. But honestly, in all reality, you can handle them. It's very discouraged. They are fragile, fast, typically quite defensive and possibly even aggressive, and their bite would still be no fun. Yeah. Remember, Galeotes arabas can get up to 6 inches. Their chelicerae are no joke. Same thing with Galeotes grantii. And all those other big camel spiders. Even a small camel spider like my Paragaleotes circeus, who is only about 1.5 inches long, can probably still deliver quite the painful pinch. So handling must be done with caution and care, only if you are an intermediate to an expert. And I believe I am. Well, I've had them for almost 3 months. But anyway, so handling should be done with care, as also they are very fast and can actually run up to 9.9 miles an hour in short bursts. Yeah, it's horrifying. There are so many myths about camel spiders that just make me regret everything at this point. I think there's myths that they walk up on children and lay their eggs in their mouths or something. Sorry if I gave you nightmares for that, and they kill them with that. It's ridiculous. They don't do that. They lay their eggs underground, not in a child's mouth. I would be scared if that happened. They also apparently just bite at camels' stomachs till their intestines fall out and then they slurp them up. No, they don't. They don't. The camel would just be like, and then yeah, there's also some that they get to like the size of a dinner plate or a cat. Let's test that theory. The largest camel spider was 6 inches, and compare that to my Dobby. 6 inches. Barely. She's way more than that. Dude, where you at? He's a good boy. But basically, no. Cats are way bigger, and dinner plates, I don't want to break them. So, no, we're not testing that on dinner plates. Apparently, they also get to the size of a child, or no, to like a person, just a full-grown adult man. They don't.
They don't. They don't.
There's also a myth that is actually technically true. They do chase people, but they do not chase people. They chase people's shadows. This is because most camel spiders, and I emphasize on most, because some species are from more tropical regions. Most camel spiders live in very hot desert regions. So any shade they get is a very good place for them. Boom, it's a gift. So basically what they'll do is they'll obviously chase your shadow, since your shadow gives off a whole ton of shade. But the moment that the night comes and the shade's already there, they'll leave, or they find a bush, they'll leave. It's really easy to know that they're just chasing your shadow. Yes, it still looks horrifying. Like, oh my god, imagine that. Like, imagine a humongous cat-sized creature just rah! But it's really just a small little guy saying, "Give me your shade." I broke the decibel level. Anyway, so there's probably way more myths, but I can't bother myself yet to find out. On to their care. Their care, it's not been that explored that well. People have definitely cracked the code, I believe. But it's most of them die. They don't really technically thrive in captivity. But I do believe I have found some keys. Give them incredibly large enclosures. Mine is about what? Like, how big are you, my guy? His name is Sunny D. Sunny, you are about... He's about 2 inches. So 2 inches, you would probably give him like a 5-gallon enclosure, as you probably would with a tarantula. And if it was a tarantula, you'd probably put in like a pill container still. They're very easy to take care of, tarantulas, so easy. But a camel spider, that big, you still want in a 10-gallon. This is because, well, they're very active. Tarantulas will kind of just sit there even during the night and just be like, I'm making a burrow, give me food. And the scorpions, they move a bit. Like I see my dune scorpion moving a bit. My tarantula, I'll just find him in different spots of his enclosure every day. Like, if you try to move me, I will die. If you try to move me, I will die. If you try to move me, I will die. So basically, but these guys, he's currently making a burrow right now. They're out all the time, even during the night. I mean, the light. But it does have to be a lower light because obviously they're from the desert regions. If it's too high, they're going back in, as any animal would. So basically, the care is not that easy, but some ways, well, also just some ways to replicate their natural habitat is to give them a more sandy and very dry substrate. Since there are so much raining in the desert, you would kind of want more of a dryish substrate. A good example of this would be the type I use, and I use a mixture of both cocoa fiber. Let me get it on my hand and then I'll show you guys. A mix of both cocoa fiber and Zoomed Creatures Sand. Yeah, I almost said Creature Zoomed Sand. What? So, but yeah, basically they do need a very dry and sandy substrate. Not to say you should never mist them. Misting them, you should definitely mist them. Sometimes, though. Especially since they do tend to drink droplets. But a small water bowl, just use a water bottle cap or something. It's not that hard. With small invertebrates, finding the right water bowl is the easiest of your troubles. Let alone decor, you can just go outside and if it has pesticides, into the boiling pot, into the oven, or into the microwave, and then boom, you're in the cage. Any type of fake plants would suffice, but you don't really need fake plants either. But yeah, a lock on the cage would definitely work, and no mesh because they can probably bite through it. And so make sure you have a more only acrylic enclosure or plastic or whatever in the world you're using. They will definitely bite through mesh, especially larger species or just larger individuals of certain species. So yeah, it's horrifying because their chelicerae are huge, and when they're mad, well, we'll actually go that into more handling and territorial things. So a sandy substrate will definitely work. You would want at least 2 hives. I have 3. I used to have 2, and then I had extra cork bark, so I used 3. And then you can also use multiple rocks, and those would also suffice as hides. Under their water bowl would technically also suffice as a hide. And then sticks and all that. Rocks and sticks and water bowls, and even some of their hides do help structure burrows because they go in the rock. It makes more of a lid seal, and then they will go under. However, if you do not see your camel spider for days, months, or weeks, that was not in the right order, days, weeks, or months, don't fret, don't worry, don't cry. Don't. Camel spiders are known for being active for short periods of time, and then they'll just go into dormancy for months at a time. If your smaller camel spider is dormant for a very long time, like 4 to 6 months, then you might want to try and dig them up. I would recommend actually using a shovel instead of just using your tongs, because obviously their abdomens are frail and fragile, or what does frail mean again? I don't know. Obviously their abdomens are fragile, like a tarantula's. I don't think it's as water balloony, but definitely, So, yeah, not that much in care. Care is very similar to a desert scorpion. And with desert scorpions, it's just kind of add a very dry, sandy substrate. And, oh yeah, also add about he's 2 inches, right? Yeah, this big, 2 inches. Then his substrate level is about 2.5-ish. So go for at least the length of the camel spider when you are looking for their amount you want for them to be able to burrow. He has about 2.5 inches of substrate, and obviously I like to make a sort of hill. So right now I'm actually gonna take some substrate from one side, throw it onto the other, so that he does have a bit more substrate. But if not, most of the time, you will kind of just finding them hiding under your things. I'm speaking from personal experience. Obviously, individuals have different preferences, or temperaments, or personalities. Just how your dog, you could have 3 dogs. One is an angel, one is horrible, and then one is just super shy. So basically, yeah, it's very similar to a desert scorpion. At least if your camel spider is 4 inches, add 4 inches of substrate on one side, and then you can add 1 inch on the other, or you could just add 4 inches all around, or even bigger. The bigger the better. Same thing with enclosure. Don't go too big though, but definitely stop eating, you're bedding. My goodness. So basically, here's my size preferences. My nose is super itchy. So from about 2 to 4 inches, from 2 to 3 inches, a 10-gallon will work. A 4 to 5 inches, a 15 to 20 gallon. And then 6 inches, 40 even. Well, 20 to 40, depending on the activity or the amount of active times your camel spider has. So, yeah, that's it on their enclosure. Someone just got here, so my bird's going cuckoo. If you try to move me, I will die.
If you try to move me, I will die.
Another reason why your camel spider might be dormant for months is because they will also, this is a sign that they have, because they have sealed their burrow, they will just go into molting. This is a picture of a molting camel spider. Or another one, blah, blah, blah. And they can stay like that for weeks and months. Some have 2 weeks. I've read things of 2 weeks, while others can have months. It's ridiculous. So don't lose hope. some ways to tell her if the abdomen deflates, loses color, smells, blah, 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 all that stuff. You can kind of tell. But if not, do not lose hope. Please. 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 However, some species, as stated, do thrive in more humid environments. Some are from jungles, while others are just from more humid environments. Then you'd keep them as more of just like, I don't know, a more tropical species of like tarantula or scorpion, more tropical species, a tropical type of soil, more plants, blah, 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 more misting. If it's not, just provide a small water bowl and mist them every week to 2 weeks. Make sure to mainly get it on the sides of the enclosure so they can get water droplets, because it seems that they like to cook soil in their water. I don't think he cares. But anyway, that's all. He's trying to eat his soil right now. But then he won't eat his crickets, but then he'll eat his soil. On to handling. It's not recommended, but as stated, if you really do know what you're doing and don't hold them here, the worst, they can definitely take a slight fall. About maybe, this guy could probably take like a 4-inch fall, like a fall from here, especially with padded substrates. So if you are holding them and say they don't have good balance, like this guy, I don't know why, he just never has balance really, then hold him or her or just them or whatever the thing is, just hold it slightly above its substrate, so you know, obviously if it falls, it's more cushioned. They do tend to be kind of rude and mean. So here's a picture of one mad. I was mentioning it earlier. Horrifying. And then here's also their chelicerae closed up because I want to. Oh my god. They are horrifying. But I will actually be demonstrating holding a camel spider. It's not that hard. Especially when your tarantula, your camel spider is in motion and is moving everywhere like mine is currently. Also, be careful when you, with their enclosures, because they do have sticky ends on their pedipalps that help them climb. Because why not? Why not?
Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not?
Why not? Why not?
So here he is kind of running everywhere. Going to present my hand. That is a dead cricket that he is currently assaulting. Here, cricket, you good? Well, I guess now I'm getting him. So they're not that hard, obviously, if they don't have good balance. So yeah, then you can try and gently put them on a rock or just somewhere. They do tend to flip on their back. But yeah, as you can see, they're not impossible to handle, especially if you have a calm specimen. But do not attempt this at home. Please, never, ever, ever do this. Now I can attempt. Get this guy down. There we go, good guy. And another thing that is incredibly cool about them is they are able to glow, where's my flashlight? To glow under black lights. Here's a good example. But also, dune scorpions, where's mine? They also possess that ability. And it's so cool. But, yes, camel spiders rock. Here's some pictures actually of him I took. Well, they might not, I don't think I can, no, I can't do it actually because I took them on my phone. But yes, they're incredible. I don't typically encourage you to hold them though. As stated, they're quite aggressive and they can definitely bite. If yours is calm, then you may probably be able to do it without some failure. Onto like their availability and their sales. They're typically not the cheapest. You can find them, I've seen them for $100, but typically they're about 30-ish to like $20 to $40, which, you know, is okay in the price range. Dude, calm down. They're very active all the time. They do have zoomies sometimes, literally. But the most common species, let me just try and say this off my head. I might have to get my phone for some of this. Where is my phone? There. So what? Oh yeah, right here. So, the most common species that you'll find in captivity are Pargaliotes cercius, which is this guy, the gold brush sun spider or fluffy sun spider, whatever you want to call it. Galiotes arabas, Galiotes granti, those are both the largest species of camel spiders, maxing out at about 5.5 to 6 inches. The Rhagotes malinus, which I always think is Rhagotes malamoi. Yeah. And there's also... you are cheating. Don't claim like that. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, there's also... How do I spell this one? I don't know. So, what do I do? Let's see. The tricolor camel spider. Let's see what species this is. Okay. Rhagoderma tricolor. The tricolor camel spider. Tri or triple is 3. So it has 3 colors. Okay, cool. There's also the feather leg sun spider, but I think only underground reptile sells that. Feather leg sun spider. I don't know. Let's see. So basically, sorry underground, but this is what they look like. Pretty cool. They could also be classified as a tricolor, but I don't see whatever feather leg thing they're trying. But let's see their scientific name, because why not? This is a Pargaliotes species, but they didn't tell us which, so it is a species of Pargaliotes. So yeah, basically, they're probably called that because the Pargaliotes, I think, are typically associated with fluffy legs, so feather, fluff, you get the whole thing. There's not much else with sun spiders. Oh yeah, food. There's definitely food. Let's go into food. And then some funny camel spider, sun spider jokes. Obviously, arachnids, well, most arachnids eat. What do they eat? I wonder what they eat. They eat crickets. That poor little cricket that's half dead in the enclosure that you didn't eat, Sonny? My God. It's a poor little cricket. They eat these things. No, I did not eat it. It's actually right here. His name is Bob. His new name is Bob. That's your government name, okay? It's Bob. Bob the legend. The legend. Hand feed? Nope. No hand feed. Just seizure. So basically, insects, they can eat things larger than them, but typically just go with small, medium crickets. I'm going to spend the rest of this day holding Bob because they don't get bothered like camel spiders. Hey, Bob. Hey. There don't need to be any additives like calcium or anything else you typically add. Dude, are you having like a stroke or something? He's going like this. Trying to get over his plant. Literally, dude, though. Like, what are you doing? So basically, as a pet, no. As an animal, yes, they're amazing. But some animals, what am I saying? Some animals work as pets, some don't, some kind of work. These are in the kinda category. Bob, the cricket dude. I name every animal Bob. Eat Bob. Hand feed? Hand feed? You can't hand feed them if they're down for it. He's not down for it. So yeah. Oh, and also, some ways to sex camel spiders, basically how to teleport their gender, are females are typically more robust, have bigger abdomens, and a bit like shorter legs, but they are larger. This kid might be a female too or a male, even though I just called him guy. What am I saying? And then males are a bit skinnier and smaller. Okay. Oh yeah, so handling techniques that I've picked up over the years, I've only had this guy for 2 months, oh my god, is basically when they're walking, you can kind of just put your hand in front of them, then when they walk in your hand, they think they're still on the ground. Then you can kind of slide them off without them really noticing, and it creates a stress-free handling session. Because you as the owner obviously want some interaction with your animal. This is the exact way what I just did right now. You can't really see him. I'm not gonna like. But yes, they can definitely be handled without a large issue. I will be mainly focusing on him during this. So I'll set him down. This is a cohab between him and Bob. So Bob should be a channel icon. Why am I like this? Oh my god. Well, anyway, there's not much else, but here's some funny camel spider things, because why not? Anyway, enjoy the outro, and then you're just going to see things of him walking around and me holding him.
Camel!